Good evening. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are. We welcome to Byond Talk, Walking with Purpose. I'm Aaron George.
And I'm Sandra Turgott. Good evening. Good evening.
Excellent. So Byond Talk is a social mentoring forum. It's a place to engage community in thought-provoking conversation about real-life issues, triumphs, grief, pain, success. This space is designed to inspire you to foster transformation and healing. We believe in life, teachers and learners are interchangeable. Our mission is to inspire you to go after your healing and transform. One of the biggest tragedies in life is to lose your authentic self and to live the version of you that is expected by everyone else.
Wow, Aaron.
Wow, yes.
To lose your authentic self
Mm-hmm.
and to show up how everyone else expects you to.
Yes.
And you'll be the only one in pain. Wow.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So we go ahead. Yeah.
And many people live an authentic life because, we are always told to be like this person or do what that person. Conformity is a big, big, big problem in life today. And, we're going to basically explore that in our forum.
Yes, of course. So this evening we're talking to Mr. Silber Henry. And he's popping on. Wow, he's quick. Good evening, Mr. Silber.
Good evening.
How are you, Silber?
I'm great.
Excellent.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you so much for joining us. But before we get you to introduce yourself, I just want to read a little synopsis from one Andy Murphy. So he's talking about reprogramming the mind, and that's exactly what we're talking about today. Reprogramming the mind to think wealth. And he said, it's about designing where you want to go. It's about building that neurology, deleting that old patterns of behavior, install a fresh new way of thinking, feeling, and acting. I thought that was interesting and important to read because, the guy who wrote this quote is Andy Murphy, because that's exactly what we want to do this evening. And that's exactly the conversation that we want to dive into this evening. So, Mr. Silber, we're just going to ask you to tell our viewers who you are and what you do and why you should be talking about reprogramming the mind. Get you to introduce yourself.
Okay, yeah, my name is Silber Henry, and I am an insurance advisor, and I specialize in life insurance and living benefits like critical insurance and disability, stuff like that. And what was it? Sandra? I introduced myself. What were you saying now? About what you wanted me to talk about? It kind of slipped what you just asked for.
So just tell us a little bit about you and why you should be talking about the subject matter.
Okay, yeah, thank you. I was a little bit distracted in my thoughts.
No problem. Why you should be talking about the subject matter?
I am.
There's somebody's playing another device in the background because I can hear myself. Are we?
Yeah, that was me trying to share.
Okay.
I see, Aaron. Okay, all right.
Yeah, I'm a Jamaican. I'm from Jamaica, and I came into Canada in 1994. Now, I grew up in the inner city, in an area, Central Kingston, that's a constituency. But the area that I grew up in was Tel Aviv. So, in other words, you would call it the ghetto area. So, I wasn't born with gold spoon in my mouth. So, I come through the struggles and see what it is like not to have. But because I went to church, I usually go to church. So, when I'm in the church, I used to be around people who have influence, stature, middle class. Like, for example, I know one of the deacons. He was a senior director at the Bank of Jamaica at the time. There's a prominent high school, Calabar High School. The principal goes to that school. Dr. Michael Butler goes to St. John's College. He's a lecturer now at the University of the West Indies. So when you're around people and you see, success, you want to be like them. They were of much influence. And then another thing, when a lot of my relatives come down from Canada and I see the lifestyle, the nice clothing and all that kind of stuff, you want to be a part of that. So
right.
my intention was always to come to Canada.
Right.
So even I remember particular when I was in a maths class at Camperdown High School, and they were saying what you want to be in life, and my response was I want to be a foreigner.
You want to be a foreigner. It's a good one.
I said I want to go to, because I say to myself, if I'm going to live on this planet, right? Why not be in a society where myself has more worth, in the sense where the dollar is stronger. So if I'm going to work, then I would want to work in a society where the returns is much better. So I've always think, what, Canada is the place, because they talk about first world and third world countries, and I'm like, what is first world? What is third world? In my opinion, I believe it has to do with the mind, because land is land.
Right.
It's like the American border with the Mexican border. It's one land. So you live over this side, I live over that side. There's a border in between us. But this over in the American side live a way better life than me who live over the other side.
Yes.
But yet we could live maybe 5 minutes apart,
right.
except for the border that separate us. So when they talk about first world and third world countries, I'm like, what is first world and third world countries? Like, it has to do with the mind. Because if you talk about Singapore, quickly, Singapore is 15 times smaller than Jamaica. And yet Singapore has 5.2 million people and Jamaica has around 2.8 million people. But yet Jamaica is 15 times larger than Singapore. And Singapore passport can take it to 189 countries. There, one Singaporean dollars is equivalent to one Canadian dollars. And one Singaporean dollar is equivalent to 70 cents US. So what makes the difference? It was changed by Lee Kuan Yew from back in the 60s. So I realized that it's all about the mindset of humans.
Great intro. Amazing intro. I like it. Aaron, do you have anything to say? Or you have a question for Mr. Silver? I have a few.
Yeah, well, it seems like he was in a good environment growing up in the early days. I'm just wondering how that helped you when you came to Canada. What was your experience like when you first came to Canada or foreign?
First came to foreign.
Well, I was very happy. I was very happy coming into Canada because I've always wanted to be in Canada, and I don't think my expectation of Canada was what would I say? It wasn't a disappointment.
It was not a disappointment.
It was not a disappointment. Whatever I dream of, that's what I'm experiencing. Because amazing. I mean, I know they'll say sometimes, immigrants, we might have the struggles, but I realize that there's still opportunity for us.
Right.
Lots of opportunity.
So what are some of the financial wounds or challenges you had when you came here, when you landed here? Were you working right away? Were you always as successful in insurance as you are today?
No, the thing about it, I remember the first job I got at the Brick. I remember when I went to they had a job fair. So I went there. It was a new store opening in Mississauga in Heartland. So I went there. At the time, my wife was pregnant. So I went there, and I just wanted to work. So I was asking for maybe a customer service job, whatever. And he said that they don't have any position for customer service, but they have a position for sales. And I said, well, I would, okay, no problem. And they said, but it's commission. I said, well, no problem.
Right.
And he gave me a facial expression like when he asked me if I have an experience in sales, and I said, no, I don't have any experience. And he gave me a facial expression, and I said, I looked him straight in the eye and I said, listen, I have a wife and she's pregnant and I need a job. So because I said that to him, what kind of man would not want to give a man an opportunity if he's going to say he has a wife and she's pregnant? I mean, come on. So he gave me that opportunity to work for the brick, and I worked strictly on commission because my thought was the more I work, the more I make, the more money I earn. So the more I sell, the more money I earn. So I like that. So I'm not stuck with just one figure for the week or for the month. I have the control to increase my income, and I kind of like that idea. And I guess I got that kind of vibration from the fact that when you grow up and you don't have anything, what else to lose? What is there for you to lose?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What is there for you to lose? So, yeah.
Okay, great. All right. So because we're talking about the reprogramming of the mind, and we want to get our viewers to start thinking bigger, better, wider, want them to expand the mind, or even yet not so much expand the mind, but heal the mind, heal those money wounds, and we're talking about money and we're talking about wounds, but we're talking about wealth. And when we say wealth, we're referring to wealth, body, mind, spirit. Because you can't be wealthy with money and be unhealthy in your body or in your spirit. Then you're the money's no good to you, right? So exactly. we want people to know that they can have more in all areas of their lives. They can have abundance. So with that, Mr. Silber, I want to ask you, there's when the subconscious mind accepts an idea, it begins to execute it. What does that mean to you? When the subconscious mind accepts an idea, it begins to execute it.
Well, what I get from that is for the subconscious mind to accept an idea, you have to consciously put it in the subconscious mind. And for whatever it takes, because you're going to revert back to what you used to, but you have to consciously make that decision. So when you constantly, it's like, for example, you're saying to yourself, you normally get up at, say you normally get up at 7 o'clock, but you say, you know what, I have to get up at 6 o'clock. So what you do, you program the mind for 6 o'clock, but when 6 o'clock comes, it's a struggle to get up. Right. So you have to consciously now say, no, I have to get up for whatever reason it is, and you get up. Now, when you consciously, continuously to get up at 6 o'clock, because remember you're changing from 7 to 6. So you're going to have that struggle. Eventually, you find yourself getting up at 6 o'clock without even thinking about it.
Right.
Without have to consciously say, hey, I have to get up at 6.
Right.
So you have to consciously put it in your head, and you keep on it, because you're going to get a pushback. But if you continuously, consciously, eventually, it just washed away.
So you're saying it's practice. Yes. So to
what
change,
I did today? What I did today, I had a glass of water and I tried it, and it was dirty. I had some juice inside of it, and I put it under the tap and let the water keep going at it, beating into it. Eventually, it was clear water. So if it's an analogy that you use to say, if you consciously keep on saying, I have to do this, I keep on doing it. Yes, eventually, eventually, you find yourself doing it without even thinking. Like driving, you learn to drive. You're driving with somebody teaching you to drive. Oh, it's a red light. I have to put my foot on the brakes. Oh, it's a green light. I have to drive now. Oh, I have to make a right turn. Okay, let me put the indicator on. But eventually, after going over it more than one time, it becomes a second nature.
Right. That's true. Most of all our habits reside in our subconscious mind. Like in the beginning, when you're learning something, it's going to be pretty mechanical. But after you do it X amount of times, the subconscious mind takes over and it does it automatically. But when you're learning something, right, it's going to take a lot of effort to hit it on the mark every time. And also, there's a lot of stuff that's in our subconscious mind that's not working for us. Right. There's not. It's just become a habit, and it could be a way of thinking, especially about money. And the self-talk reinforces that. I don't have money. I never have money. I can't pay my bills on time. right? All this stuff that's there subconsciously. And you can't really change it if you're not aware of that self-talk, right?
Yes.
Would you agree?
Yes.
It's in the subconscious mind.
Right.
So
right.
Of course.
until you're aware, right, it's not going to change.
Right.
Of course.
Right. And that's a big battle is the awareness, become aware. Right.
The subconscious mind only act on what you say to it. So if I say to you, there's no food in the house, Sandra, and you say, well, I guess we're going to go to our bed hungry, then you're not going to think now. But if you say there's no food, and I say, now where can we get food?
Right.
Now the brain start to think.
Right.
How, and you start to think all different kind of avenues. Okay, I could call Aaron and say if he has any money, he could loan me some money. You start to think all different kind of things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you say something to the subconscious mind, it only acts on what you say. So if you say, well, I don't have any money, or it can't work, or it will never happen, whatever you say, that's what's going to happen, because the subconscious mind will just act on what you tell it to do.
Right.
So you're in control. You're in control of those thoughts.
Exactly.
So because you're in control of them, now I want to follow up on that. So why is reprogramming the mind so crucial for transforming one's life? Because a person may say, I don't know that my mind has any part in me transforming my life or living a better life, living an abundant life. So how would you have that person realize that it's really everything that we do is really happening in the mind? And why is it so crucial in the subconscious mind, so to transform that place so that you can live abundantly?
Because I like that question now, and that leads me to say, your subconscious mind, it's like a paradigm. That a paradigm is like a mental program that almost exclusively control your habitual behavior. So it's like this thing, it's like your computer. Whatever you put inside the hard drive, that's what you're going to get back out. So in order for you to change, if you want to earn more, live a better life, you have to change yourself, because remember, it's yourself is going to do the physical stuff to make whatever the returns you're getting different. So you have to change yourself. But now, how do you change yourself? What I want to share with you is the 5 different steps of changing, right? Now, and for all the viewers, I want you to pay attention to this one. Your behavior.
We are paying attention.
Your behavior. What caused you to behave a certain way? What caused that behavior?
Right.
Like, for example, somebody goes to church. They like to be, their behavior, they love to go to church. Why do they go to church? They get up, which means your behavior is your action. Put it that way, your action. So they get up and they go to church every Sunday morning. Why do they go? Because of their feelings, how they feel about church. Why do you feel, church is a good place to be? Because it's their feelings. So they have that feeling about church where they have to get up in the morning and go to church. So that's the feeling. They feel good about doing it. Now, what caused your feelings? Your attitude. Now, your attitude can be negative and it can be positive. Now, some people have a negative attitude towards church. Some people have a positive attitude towards church. Now, because you go to church every Sunday and you feel good about getting up going to church, you have a positive attitude towards church. But what caused that positive attitude towards church? It comes from your belief system.
Right.
You believe in Christianity. You believe in whatever, Buddha, Muslim, whatever you believe in. That's your belief system. You believe it. But where does the belief system comes from? Your programming, how you were programmed. So your programming could be direct or indirect. So if I was born maybe in an Arab nation, I wouldn't know anything about Christianity. So I would be programmed to be, a Muslim or some different other religion. I wouldn't be talking about Christianity because it's the programming. So now that you understand that it's the programming, and when you were born, you didn't have any control over the programming. So now that you're an adult and you can think consciously for yourself, then you need to say, well, if this is not working for me, And now that I understand that, I have to reprogram myself. Then I have to say, you know what? Let me find the avenues. Maybe you could read books, you could join some seminars, you could join some groups, whatever it takes to change that mindset. But you have to find that avenue where it reflects on what you want to do. So if you want to earn more money, you have to listen to more people that talk more about money. If you want to be a baker, then you have to go to the bakery and maybe try work in the bakery, start sweeping the floor, whatever it takes, start making the dough, and you move from there. So you have to put yourself in that line.
So you're saying you have to, you use the word action, attitude, and belief programming, but you have to take action. So you have to move.
Yeah.
Which a lot of folks don't do well.
Right.
It's a taking action. You have an intention, and now you have to take action. That thing is not gonna change if you don't take action, right?
Exactly.
So that's what you're saying. That's really, really good, Mr. Silver. That was a really, really great insight. I'm even learning. Aaron?
So to follow up on the inaction piece, the inaction could simply go back to the behavior, to the belief, that maybe there is a confusion in the belief, or they don't believe in themselves or what it is that they're doing strongly enough to take action. They're not motivated to take action because of the belief.
Exactly.
So how do you strengthen those mental muscles? How do you strengthen that and so that the person can believe in themselves more?
Right.
Or trust that.
Yeah. So I think, again, awareness, doing a self-assessment, becoming aware of, the blocks, the things that are keeping you from getting the things that you desire for yourself, right? And you have to have a strong desire for that thing which you want to achieve, right? You need to have positive experience, and you need to work to unlearn some bad behaviors and learn some good behaviors, acquire some skills, and get out and just do. As you're doing, you're going to become more confident at the more success that you have. And as your skills build, then you'll be able to have different experience, and that just builds and builds and builds on top of that. And in the field of sales, right, we know it's a numbers game, right? So once you have the mindset that it's numbers, and you just do your activity, do the things you're supposed to do, you're going to get the results that you're going to get. And there's no attachment, right, to every single outcome, but you just have your mindset on the big picture. If I religiously do the things that I'm supposed to do, I'm going to get the results that I'm looking for at the end of the day. Right? So
yeah, go ahead, Mr. Silver. Go ahead.
No, you can go.
No, you go. You make your point. Yeah.
No, you can say, because I was about to say something, but it slipped my thoughts.
It slipped your thoughts. You're getting old, or what? Are you getting old?
So I have a saying, right? It's TFA, right? Your thoughts lead to your behavior, and your behavior leads to your action, right? You always have to be aware of where your thoughts are taking you, because again, there's a lot of stuff that's in our subconscious and that's become habit, right? And it's getting into the subconscious, exploring the habits that are sabotaging your money mindset, and just make discoveries, unlearn them, and replace them. You can replace them through positive affirmation, self-talk, visualization, right? Because remember, the subconscious mind doesn't know what's real or what's imagined. It only goes based on what you habitually, continually, intentionally tell it every day.
Exactly.
Every day.
Right?
Exactly.
So like you said, it's building a new muscle, right? Reprogramming the mind to think of wealth is something that you have to do deliberately, intentionally, every day. You can't just do it, do it today and then not do it tomorrow. And this is what causes a lot of the problems, right? It's because we're haphazard. We're haphazard in our thinking, right? So if you want to reprogram, right, it's an everyday thing. It's a hour by hour, minute by minute, until it becomes a habit, a total mindset that's to embody your whole being.
All right, so let's go back to a little more real life experience. We people like to learn. So you're telling us this. It sounds really like you're master at it. But how did you get here, Aaron? How did you get to a place where you're using those mental muscles, or you're growing those mental muscles, you're working out those mental muscles daily? Because we know, like we started the conversation by saying, a lot of us are programmed this way. We grew up, we were raised relatively poor. We grow up, we see lack around us everywhere. And even as we speak right now, we see so much lack around us. So how do we push past the atmosphere of lack and push yourself into the atmosphere of wealth? That's a lot of mental muscle building. So tell us where you were and how you get to this place of somewhat having some muscles in that area. People would like to know. I would like to know.
Definitely. Well, again, it starts with awareness, having the desire, recognizing where you are, and developing that motivation, that push, and just being sick and tired of where you are, and just having a plan, right? Having a plan, having a routine, having a practice to impregnate your subconscious mind with a clear and definite picture for yourself, of yourself, where you want to go, and make it a practice. And when you're out there in the daily life, right, you're keeping your thoughts positive, because that's a big challenge. It's all mental, trying to keep your thoughts consistent and in the direction that you want to go. And it takes time. They say it takes 21 days to create a new habit. If you do something continuously for 21 days, it becomes automatic, right? So I think that's part of the key is having a clear vision, something that you would visualize every day, and you would also want to have the positive self-talk, positive affirmation, and just do that continuously, and just take action on whatever it is that you're aspiring to do.
Great,
Agreed.
great, good stuff. I know that a lot of people may be watching or listening and thinking this. I have a plan. I'm doing positive self-talk. I'm trying to be more self-aware, but I don't think I can do it, or the people around me are not encouraging, or they're not motivating me. And this is for real. Like I started, I embarked on something new just yesterday, right? You know about this, blending juice and marketing it. And many messages I get of how many people are doing this, and how you always going to have those people that will tell you, oh, there are 100 people doing this, so why you think you should be 101? And really and truly, if you did not build those mental muscles, you will just stop. You won't go any further, because you will just chicken out, because you have those people. Those people are in the world. They're born to out your light. That's their mission.
Yeah.
Anything that you set out to do, there are going to be people that are going to tell you that you can't get there. So you come from a poor family, or your parents were on welfare, and the people will tell you you cannot become what you set out to become. And you will go to school, and the teachers will tell you you cannot become what you set out to become. And you will get a job, and the employer will tell you you cannot become what you set out to become. So as you clearly said, it's really a personal, intentional thing. You have to make your mind, you have to put on blinders, and you kind of have to have tunnel vision to get to your vision. So you basically, you kind of have to close off from the world, and you have to have tunnel vision to get there. You have a big vision in your mind, but you have to go into tunnel and lock everybody out, or you won't get there, because people will discourage you. People will discourage you, will tell you that you can't think big because you come from a small-minded family, right?
Yeah.
So So yeah, I feel like I'm ranting on that because I'm passionate about that. That is so true, right?
So you said lock the negative people out.
Yeah, you have to turn it. Yeah, you really have to.
You have to be careful when you
not lock yourself
the subconscious mind.
Yes, you have to lock the negative.
The negative, not lock everybody out. Lock the
negative people out. Yes.
That's right.
You have to be precise with the subconscious mind, you know.
Absolutely.
Not locking everybody out. Yeah. So
you know, and I'm listening.
Yeah.
I was going to say,
yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So you go ahead.
I was just saying that while we climb the ladder, we have to make sure the ladder is on the right wall.
Yeah.
You have to make sure the ladder is on the right wall. The right. You don't want to go up or you go, I'm on the wrong wall. You have to put it
right.
You have to make sure.
You got to know what you want. You got to know what you.
You know the challenge with human beings. One of the most challenging thing with human being. We don't think.
So we're talking about thinking. So tell us how.
Yeah, we don't, because most people get up every day and they're working to live. They're not living to work. They're working to live. So they don't know what's going on around them. Because you're just working to live to afford the basic stuff in life. No, we go to school. Whenever we go to school, we always go to school and we use textbook. But that's what's given to us. But as we become an adult and we go into the workforce, you ask a lot of people, when last did you read a book?
Yeah.
You don't. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now we're living in a time where we have inspirational audio on YouTube. We can always go on YouTube and listen to motivational speech. And every single morning, I listen to a motivational speech. And today, this guy said something which I've always said. When I say to people, I take comfort in death. And they said, why? I said, when I remember that, you know what, I'm going to die one day, then if I'm going to die one day, it simply means I can do anything I want to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not, nothing is going to last. And I was listening to the gentleman, and he was saying the same thing. And I was like, wow, there's somebody out there saying the same thing, that when you think about death, you're going to die the physical death. So while you're here, why not just be whatever you want to be? But the thing about it is, if you grew up in an environment where everything is negative and everything is doom, gloom, dismay, and despair, but if you look at other people's lifestyle, you could ask them, how do you do it? Like the pursuit of happiness. You remember that guy, Christopher? It's Christopher Gardner. He, in real life, he saw a guy driving a nice car and he asked the guy, how do you do that? The guy said, I'm in investment. And because he was so inquisitive, the guy went in and now he's a multi-millionaire. I happened to listen to him live in America on stage. And Will Smith came up with the movie Pursuit of Happiness. It was off him. So all you have to do, you don't have to be highly intelligent. You don't have to be all that smart. All you need to do is to find someone who know where they're going and follow them.
Oh, that's a good advice. That's really good. Great advice.
Yeah, common sense.
Yeah. Get
a mentor.
Get a mentor. Yes. Yeah.
You don't need to know everything.
Yes.
Right.
You don't need to know everything. You understand? Just find somebody who know what they're doing, and you follow them. If Oprah Winfrey was to say to you, Sandra, stay with me for a year, wouldn't you want that opportunity?
Of course.
You'd have lunch. You would have. She said, "Okay, I'll give you 100,000, or you can be around me for
1 year.
1 year." I'd say keep that 100,000. I want to be around it for a year.
I want to be yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So one of the things I want to say, when we have to start off with, and I would implore to people, and I've always implored to people, just take up a book and read.
Find
Just pick up a book
knowledge.
and read.
Yeah. Find
Find
knowledge.
knowledge, because
Yes.
we
Yes.
don't know everything.
Yes.
Right.
And we will never know everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we will die not knowing everything.
Mhm.
So while we're here, learn as much as possible, because whatever you learn, you can apply in your daily life to
Mhm.
make you become a better person. You know what I'm saying? I
Yep.
remember I remember there
So
was an issue with I'm listening, Sandra.
yeah, I was just gonna ask you, Mr. Silver, to
Yes,
you have some books that you wanted. Now you're on the subject of reading. You wanted
yes,
to
yes,
recommend some books to our
yes,
listeners. So what
yes.
are those books?
I have three books that I would that I'm recommending. The
Mm-hmm.
first one is The Magic of Thinking Big. Because remember, if you're at a place in your life that you don't believe in yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, don't worry about it. Just grab
Mm-hmm.
this book,
The
The
magic of
Magic
thinking.
of Thinking Big. Acquire the secrets of success, right? Achieve everything you have always wanted. Now you have to think big. So when you think big, it's a start. So the first book is The Magic of Thinking Big. The
Mm-hmm.
second book, now that you're thinking big, now that you understand that you need to think big, the second book is now, how do I go about doing it?
Mm-hmm.
The power of your subconscious mind. Now you have to change your self-talk. You
Mhm.
have to change it. You have to understand, how does my mind work? When we as human beings understand how our mind works, then you will know how to perform. Just like, for example, if you're going to drive a car, if you don't know how to start the car, how to operate the car, you will never move. So now
Mhm.
that you know how the conscious and the subconscious mind works, and
Mm-hmm.
you're conscious of it, then you can apply. So while you're making changes, you have to know what you're doing when you're making changes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
interesting.
And then the next book, Think and Grow
And grow
Rich.
rich. Yes.
You don't need to work hard to grow rich, because if you're making $10 an hour and we ask God to make you be a supernatural being, and say, God, don't let this person sleep. They can't sleep. So you could work 24 hours times $10, right? That's 200, that would be like $240 a day, right? And you could multiply that by 365, whatever the amount is. It still doesn't reach $1 million.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
working hard doesn't make you become successful. It's
Mm.
working smart.
Wow.
Think and grow rich. It's not about the hard work. If you notice, people who work very hard and they do manual work, they don't make much, because what they're basically doing is trading their time for a dollar bill. That's
Mm-hmm.
what you're
Mm-hmm.
doing. So, but I'm not knocking anybody who um, works their
Hour.
labor job, because a hourly work. We're not saying that. What we're saying, for those who want a difference in their life,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
this is how you go about doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people are very comfortable where they are, and it's okay. Nothing wrong with that. Because if you're comfortable where you are in life, you say you work at a factory, but you could work at a factory and still earn a lot of money. You know why? Because you
Mm-hmm.
could take that factory money and invest it.
Yep.
Yeah? You have people who don't make over 100,000. They have 3, 4 houses. You know what I'm saying?
So it's
Yeah.
working
So
smart, working smart,
yes. So
making the
you could
money
do
work for you.
exactly. You could. That's the reason why you need to attach yourself with people who know what they're doing. So you
Mm.
don't have to make 100,000 to earn 1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Is what you do. So you could have a regular little job, and you just make a little money, and you play around, you invest it and all that sort of stuff, and do whatever you have to do, and you build some kind of wealth. When it becomes older and you want to stop work physically, you still have money coming in. So it has nothing to do with the job that you do. It's the thinking.
Mhm.
Think.
Great, great. But
Nice.
we want people to also understand that, like I go back to say, when we think wealth, we want
Mm,
Think and Grow Rich, for example, speak about being wealthy overall, being wealthy in mind, being wealthy
mm,
in spirit, and
Mhm.
of course, if you're wealthy in mind and spirit, inevitably you're going to have money. because it's impossible for you to be healthy in those areas and not attract goodness, not attract material wealth. You will attract material wealth, because when your mind is clear of all the debris and the muck that was programmed based on your environment, socialization, the family that you were brought up in, when your mind is clear of all those things, you can think healthy. And of course, and if your spirit is if you're I call it feeding the spiritual man. If you're like, just like you feed the physical man, we need to feed the spiritual man. The spiritual man needs to be fed. And how you do that is through prayer and stillness, meditation, and just I say goodwill, just being good to others. That's how you feed the spiritual man. Then of course money will come, right? So we want people to understand. We want people to understand that we're not one part. We are three parts. We live in the material world, but we're deeper than that. We're spiritual man. We're emotional beings. We're spiritual beings, and all three have to work together for us to really be successful or wealthy, as we say. We need to be wealthy in all areas. So
I think once we can go back to our original state.
Yes.
Get rid of all the baggage, the misconceptions, preconceptions, getting connected to who we are, because our natural state is a state of abundance.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And we're going to experience abundance in everything, in all facets of life, right? So if we find that we are living a life and we're sabotaging ourselves, we can't achieve our goals, then we have to become aware of what's causing the blockage.
Mm-hmm.
Go through some kind of a ritual, a declutter your mind.
Or call us.
Once you get there,
call me, I'll help you. Call me. Call
absolutely.
Sandra. Call
Byond
Sandra.
Consulting, we're here. This is part of our program, right? We take you through a decluttering. Declutter the mind, remove all the pain, all the hurt, all the thing that's draining your energy, your creative, your abundance energy. And once you do that, right, you like Silver says, you start thinking big. Now what, right? You can create your life. Now what?
Now you got room.
Thinking big, right? Yeah. Then you learn about your mind, how the mind works, and know that most of everything that you have experienced in the past was all based on your thinking and your perception of it. And you have control of it. We have control of it. And it's powerful. It's incredible knowing that, that most of the stuff that happened, it happened on purpose. I did it intentionally, unaware, just based on how I was thinking, right? So once you learn how the mind works, you can change it and get it to work for you, right? And then you can, like Silver says, you can look at opportunities, right? Do I want to have a business? Do I want to, if I'm in a job right now, how can I get more income in this job? Well, maybe if I could increase my skills, increase my worth, then I can demand more income, right? And
you couldn't have said it better, Aaron.
And when you're there, you have more income, then you have more free time. You can go to the gym, you can work out, you can start thinking about eating differently, becoming a vegetarian. Then you can start donating money or donating your time to different causes.
Serving.
And you can do so much more
than really.
If you're stuck and you're not living an authentic life. You're just conforming and just following what everybody else is doing and living unhappy.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to say this quickly.
Closing thoughts. Yeah.
I just want to say this quickly. As Sandra, you were talking about you started a business, and one of the things that people need to understand is, even in your intimate relationship, or even as your platonic friends, you have to have people who are grateful of you.
Mm-hmm.
They are open-minded, which means you can come to them and you can talk about anything, especially your spouse. You're supposed to be able to can go to the person and can have a conversation, open-minded person. They're grateful to have you. They're supposed to that person's supposed to be passionate about something in life. Motivating and inspiring. So grateful, open-minded, motivating, inspiring and passionate.
Mhm.
That's the kind of people you want to have in your
Yes,
circle,
yes, yes, yes.
even if that person is your spouse. And they should add these values to you: mental value, emotional values, physical
Mm,
value, spiritual value. You have
mm.
to have these people around you. If you don't, you're going down the drain. It's that simple, because you really cannot afford a negative energy to be around you. And
It's
that's why you find some of these successful people divorce so often.
yeah. It's basically we have a saying in the Caribbean that the old folks usually say, and it's really simple. It says, "Show me your company, and I tell you who you are." So
Yes,
basically, what they're trying to say, you're defined by the people you're hanging with, the people you're
yes,
hanging with. How are they feeding
yes,
you?
Right.
And
yes.
show me your company, I tell you who you are. That's a powerful statement, and I always keep that in the back of my head. So I very much I'm good at, and I handpick the people that I want in my life. I'm actually kind of a master at that by now. I think I can give myself master.
That's why you pick me.
I'm very good at that. I'm very good at, and
Exactly.
it takes a lot of, as you say, a lot of mistakes. It's learning, right?
Mhm.
A lot of
Yes.
mistakes, and you say, that's not the kind of person I want in my life. That's not the kind of person I want to be around. And you develop this safe space, if you may, where the people that you're around can pour into you and you can pour into them. It's a powerful thing. But the voices that are coming are not coming from the people in your inner circle. And this is why you have to be careful to make sure that you're listening to the people in your inner circle who you trust, because there's so many voices. We live in the social media era. There's so many voices out there, and people got your number and they can text you, right? They can inbox you, they can WhatsApp you, they can and they can send you messages. Are you going to take those messages if they're not positive and go lie in bed and don't get up? Because some people do that. Or are you going to just, as soon as they come in,
Sandra,
you have to find a way to put them out? Yeah.
Sandra, like you have your business right now, and you're making a juice. And if you have any
You
personal
make
friend, that good friend,
Don't call it my juice. I don't like the way you talk about
no,
my business.
no, you're drinking the whatever you make, the natural juice that you, what your natural juice, right?
Literally just birthed that yesterday. I just gave birth to that
Okay,
yesterday.
exactly.
So
Now, when you have like, all your good friends supposed to be the first person to support you.
mhm.
You say, hey, I need some. If they're not saying I'm going to support you, then you have to think twice.
Yes.
Right.
So
It's that
are
simple.
you ordering a couple bottles, sir?
We can talk about that. No problem.
I
No
love
problem.
it.
No
I love
problem.
it. All right. This is so much fun, but we're out of time.
Yes.
It's so much fun, but we're out of time. And I just want to thank our viewers for watching and
Yes.
for just sticking with us. And I know a lot of people usually watch after the fact. So I'm inviting
Yes.
you to watch and share. And I just want to leave you with a last thought. Let's go with Aaron. Aaron, do you have a last word?
The last word. If you are unhappy with how life is treating you right now, the only person that can make the change is the person that you see in the mirror every day, and you can do it. If
Amen.
I can do it, you can do it. And it's about having that desire to change, not judging yourself or being hard on yourself, and reaching out. Reaching out to mentors, to coaches, to people that in your life that can help you constructively. They're not going to beat you up or tell you that's wrong or this is wrong. Hopefully they can give you some tools that you can use to really change your life, and you can. It's all in your mind. Take control of your mind. We've been programmed from the time we were babies until till you reach that point where you feel that life is not working. You got to take control of your life. You can. There's, like Silver said, read books. There's all kinds of books that's out there that can help you. And reach out to Byond Consulting. We're here. We can help you. We're a resource. We're here every week, and we want to be able to partner with you on your journey. And you can get in touch with us at byond.online@gmail.com, and we hope to see you next week.
Good job, Aaron. Amazing. Silver, last thought. 60 seconds. 60 seconds, last thought. Last
the thinking that guides your intelligence is much more important than how much intelligence you have.
Ha! Amen to that.
Yes.
Amen to that.
Profound.
And and that was profound.
That's less than 60 seconds.
Can I steal that one? Can I steal that one? My last thought is just to the viewers who are watching, align yourself with somebody who can help you up. Just align yourself with somebody who can help you up. Seek for that person. Your life depends on it. There are people out there who can help you up. So if you're struggling in any way, shape, or form, find somebody who can help you up. You're never alone. You're not alone. You cannot be alone. You were not born to be alone. So find somebody who can lift you up. And with that, we're going to say good evening. Have a great week. And we just want to shout out to of course, we have to do this. We want to shout out to our frontline workers, all the people who are keeping our city safe right now. We want to say, God bless you. We love you. We're praying for your safety. Take care. And everyone, bye-bye.
Thanks to Yenka Farende, Abidork Productions. Thank you for all the work that you do in the background to making us look good. We appreciate you. We love you.
Take care.
See you guys next week. Bye.
Bye-bye. See you guys.
DAC TV.